Hello, wrestling world, and welcome to a special edition of Over the Top Rope Wrestling Show. I'm your host, the one and the only, Mr. Still Yo Dibs. And on the other side of me is my brother from another, the other host of this show, Tantilizing Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest joining us today. You've seen her on Impact Wrestling. You see her on NXT. Now you can see her on AEW Dark Elevation, and AEW Dynamite. Also, she is a mechanic, and she will give this show the tune-up that it needs.
That's true. Here we go.
There it is. Everybody, please welcome Amber Nova to the show. Ma'am, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you for informing anyone that may have not heard of me before at like all the platforms that I've been able to work on. I'm doing really good. A little tired from traveling. My schedule's been getting very busy, which is a great thing for the world just to get busy again. So, and then thank you for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. You just mentioned that your schedule is getting busy. You're traveling, doing shows. The world is opening back up. But during the pandemic, there was no independent shows happening. WWE, AEW were not on the road doing shows. Tell us, how were you able to manage during the pandemic?
Wow. So, 2020, things were picking up. In 2019, we'll go back a year. I was wrestling in London, South Africa, Panama. Saw me with WWE, NXT. I was really getting out there more and more like opportunities. And then when the pandemic hit, like obviously the whole world got shut down, and then anyone in the entertainment business, you can't be around large groups of people. So we need our audience, which was just so great to see the audience back, just all the people back at the live events now everywhere. So I survived the pandemic because of my Nova heads. I'm talking Nova World Order, baby. If it wasn't for all my fans just supporting me, buying autographed photos, just putting me out there, podcasts, everything like that, like it really just kept me going, kept me motivated. And it really helped me survive and get through it.
Good to hear. Good to hear. What was it, or why did you want to get into wrestling?
Oh, wow. So, I got into wrestling the same way I got into classic cars. My dad, daughter of a mechanic, classic cars, pro wrestling growing up. I'm one of 5 kids. I have an older sister, older brother. I'm the middle child, and then I have 2 younger twin sisters. And they would go to like the events with us, and we'd see like Batista when we were like really little. We'd see a bunch of guys. We'd go to the Savannah Civic Center from Hilton Head, South Carolina, and we'd always go to the wrestling events when I was younger, but they never really followed it the way I did. Like I had such a strong passion for it, and then the older I got, I realized this is actually something that I can achieve. It's not just something I can dream about anymore. So yeah, I got into classic cars and wrestling. Dad got me into it.
Awesome deal. Go ahead, Tantilizing Tony.
So I want to get right into it because I'm a big wrestling fan, as you all well know. I'm a former professional wrestler. I'm retired, and I've been watching.
All the belts behind you guys, by the way. I wanted to say, wow, that's quite the collection. Good,
Thank you.
Good choices. Good choices.
He's got to catch up to me, and we need a few of yours. So we need some signatures and everything. We'll talk about that later. So I want to get right into like some stuff that you've done, basically. So you are a multi-time champion. Orlando Pro Wrestling, Riot Plural, Champ 7 Pro Wrestling, I Believe in Wrestling, AWA Florida Tag Team Champion, Intense Wrestling Entertainment, USCW. All these organizations, you've traveled a lot in your young career. You've only been on the road wrestling for how long? What, 6 years now? 7 years?
I had my first match about 5 years ago.
Oh, so 5 years.
I moved to Orlando 6 years ago to start training. I didn't actually start really traveling out of state of Florida for like maybe after my first year or 2. But within my first year, I was already wrestling for Impact, NXT after 2 years, just really getting good opportunity and experience in front of a crowd, camera, production, the whole machine of it all.
Wow, that's very impressive in a short 5 years. Um, Impact. Let me tell you something about Impact that would always, I don't know how to put it. It didn't throw me off. It's just, to me, I'm an old school kind of a guy. Working in a six-sided ring. How was that for you?
Oh man, I'd get bumped and thrown around, and I'd look up and go, which corner am I in? And you got to think, I was pretty new at the time, and I'm in the ring with some veteran girls. Like, my first TV match was against Allie, who's also, you guys know, now in AEW. And she was my first TV match, and then I had wrestled many other great women there, like Taya Valkyrie, who's now Frankie Monet in NXT. I've wrestled Sienna, Sue Young, Rosemary, and I got in the ring with all these veteran women, and I got to learn from them. But yeah, like in a six-sided ring, and I was trained in a four-sided. It was my first time, and it's TV. I'm like getting thrown around, but I'm like, woo, where am I? Where am I looking at? Where'd my opponent go? Which one? So, but, you know, they kept bringing me back, and they said really nice things about me online, saying that, you know, obviously this young talent, we keep bringing her back because she can hang in the ring with these veterans. So that felt really good to hear.
Go ahead, JB.
Most people don't know that you are an EMT.
Yes.
So talk about being an EMT and wanting to wrestle, because that had to be a struggle within itself.
Yes. So I moved my whole life down to Orlando. I moved from South Carolina, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, to Orlando to pursue professional wrestling. So I left my family, my friends, and my career job as an EMT behind for just pro wrestling. Never have stepped in a wrestling ring before. I just knew I would try it as hard as I could, as long as I could. I wouldn't just give up after a few months. And I could always go back home to being an EMT. But working 24-hour, sometimes I'd work, 38-hour, 40-hour, the hours were just endless shifts, and I would not sleep, and transporting patients back and forth. And I knew I couldn't do that and wrestle at the same time and support myself, because EMTs don't make that much money. So I ended up getting a bartending certification, and I'm a Jack Jill of all trades, and I started bartending in Disney Springs. And
okay.
Yeah, I bartended down in Disney. I bartended at a few other local like whiskey, wine bars in Orlando until wrestling and modeling gigs actually picked up.
That is pretty impressive, and I am impressed more with the perseverance that you had during that time, because some people would have just gave up immediately, but your perseverance that you have speaks volumes about yourself.
Thank you. I think I have a little drive in me, so don't get me wrong.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Always car pun intended. Yes, I'm always for the car puns. But yeah, don't get me wrong. There were times where I was like, maybe this isn't for me, or it's not going to work out, or, I mean, trust me, the doubts are always there. And just like everybody in life, they have doubts and they have struggles, and that's what makes you, breaks you. And, yeah, I kept going. So it's still going.
So do you think, because you know about cars and because your dad brought you up on cars, that helped you transition into wrestling? Because, men can be very, very tough towards women when it comes to cars and wrestling. And I know what it's like to have to, you being a female, how hard it is coming up. I've seen a lot of my female wrestling friends who it's very hard to get into the game. So do you think that being that you knew cars, you think it gave you extra edge, extra advantage?
Do I think the fact that my dad's a mechanic and I know basic maintenance knowledge of cars, and I drive an American muscle car myself, helped me in my wrestling career? I want to say yes. Yes, it did. I would say more so with just character and finding yourself. I feel like a lot of people struggle in wrestling to show their character. Like, who are you? Don't just show us a bunch of flashy, you're running the ropes, you're doing the, like, who tell us a story. Tell us your character, right? That's what wrestling's always been about, is a story. Drawing the people in, like, who are you? What are you fighting for? What do you want to prove? Me? I want to break the stigma with women and cars and muscle cars. I want to break that stigma about beautiful women and being able to change your own oil or drive an American muscle car. It's not always a guy's car, or maybe a woman being in the advanced auto parts commercial, not always being a guy. So I feel like that helped me define myself as who I am as a person, who I am as a wrestler, my character, and in the ring and out of the ring. So in that aspect, I'll say yes. It has come in handy though in wrestling as well. There was a time, it was WrestleMania was in Orlando, and I was training, and we were traveling with the ring doing a wrestling show, and the wrestling ring broke down while we're trying to go from show to show, and it was my first big diesel truck I fixed. So I was like,
wow.
Oh, yeah, I was really proud of myself because I had never fixed like a big diesel truck before. Yeah, so I guess it came in handy in that aspect. Unless you're asking about a different type of way.
No, that you answered that perfectly, because it seems to me, I've been watching a lot of your stuff in the last week to prepare for this interview, because I was aware of you. We both were very aware of you, but I've never been in depth in your career, and I just saw like your transition. I can see how you bring like your personality shines through on the screen, so you know who you are, and it's very hard as a wrestler, you well know, to know who you are, and I think you got that down pat.
Thank you.
Piggybacking off,
JB.
piggybacking off what you just said. So you love American muscle cars. You're a mechanic, and it's actually your character in the ring. And you don't see that with many wrestlers who has another hobby or another passion that they love, bring that into their character. Talk about developing your character in the wrestling business from doing something that you love.
I want to say, so developing my character in the wrestling business came pretty easy to me because back home as an EMT, I drove a 73 Chevy Nova. It was a 4-door, 6-cylinder engine. It wasn't much. Then I souped up, got the 2-door coupe, the 350, little souped up, much nicer. But
yeah,
back home, I was driving around, in my little Nova, and people would go, "Oh, I know who you are. You're the girl that drives the Nova. You're the Nova girl." So it was always a nickname, Nova Girl, Nova. And I was like, okay, I'm Amber Nova. That's it. It's like, who was I back home? Well, people would call me Nova Girl. I'm like, all right, I'm Amber Nova. I'm Supernova, Nova Girl, Nova Drive. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to tune up. I'm going to bring some tools and some grease rags. And, I got the whole thing. So, yeah, I just, but, I take it really seriously when it comes to women and cars and breaking that stigma. I take it serious when I say I'm going to get in the ring and I pull out my grease rag and I show it to the crowd and I go, you know what? It's time for a tune-up, and I'm going to tune up every woman in this women's division until I'm the top female here. And that's what I'm going to do. Fast and Furious, Need for Speed, to the top.
Wow. Well, speaking of tuning up, and you said you tune up all the women, you've had a lot of intergender matches. So I've seen you tune up some guys too. So what's that like, getting in the ring with a man and having to show him who the boss is?
It's a whole nother psychology when it comes to intergender wrestling and stepping in the ring with a guy. They are physically stronger than you. So you have to be smarter than them. Which, I mean, come on, aren't women already? But, you have to be on your toes. And, if for 1 second they catch you in something quick, like a slam, that's going to put me down for a little bit. So, to be a cruiserweight, a little bit lighter on my feet, a little bit smarter, maybe high flying, a little faster. That's all the things that make up Amber Nova: speed, agility, endurance.
Yeah, and it tells in your matches that you definitely are quick, you're definitely agile. I love the cutter you do off the rope. I think you do it a little different than a lot of people. There's a few people that do it and it doesn't look right. It's pretty fluent when you do it. Also, like your Nova driver. Your move set is pretty deep.
Thank you. I do a springboard stunner, or a wheelbarrow stunner, which is the Nova driver. That's my finisher. I have submissions such as I do a Nova Northern Lights suplex. Then I float over, and when they're on their back, I take their left arm, bridge them to their stomach by doing a 3/4 roll over their body, which then turns them. Then I bridge onto my head, pulling up their arm into a bridging arm bar, which I call the socket wrench, and I'm wrenching it in. So I really like catch style wrestling. I like technical transitions, and that is the kind of wrestling I like. But I also really enjoy lucha style because of my size and how small I am. Until I get caught in like, oh no, I'm up in a gorilla press in the air or some body slam, and I got to figure this out before I get slammed. So then it's like, okay, what should you do? Because I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of people think wrestling is just, it's so, let's not say the F word because it really upsets people.
Yeah. Yes.
But wrestling is a lot of improv, and it is a lot about your skill and your technique. I mean, you watch catch wrestling, it's the same thing, just not as entertaining. No offense, sometimes it depends if you got girls, wrestling and stuff, but yeah, it's something else. It's amazing.
Let's talk about AEW right now. You have wrestled on Dynamite, Dark, and Elevation. Talk about the atmosphere at AEW, the environment, Cody and Tony Khan. Talk about all that good stuff.
I'm going to start off with AEW. It's great. Like I said, I've worked at Impact Wrestling, my first TV experiences. I've worked at WWE NXT. I've been backstage at Raw and SmackDown. I've seen how the machines work, and it's obviously very similar to and there's so many really great talent there that you can go to for advice, for help. I mean, I think Tony likes me. He's brought me back a few times, and I've only gotten just a little bit of time in the ring each time. So hopefully the more time I get, the more I can really show them what Amber Nova is all about. So the more opportunity, the more few minutes I get, I can show them more each time. So it's been a great opportunity, great experience. I've been treated very well. It's very respected. It's very relaxed. Everyone, you're not so much on your toes, like maybe other places may have made other people feel that way. I mean, I just walk in, wearing Taz's colors, like, hey, I'm with Taz, we're good. I'm just kidding. I love Taz though, and I love orange. So, yeah, I feel welcomed, and that's really good to feel welcomed. And obviously, if they're bringing me there, I am welcomed. So it's a good environment. It's a great opportunity. I love the fact that I feel more so that WWE and AEW, it's almost at the point where it's like, it's not that rivalry fan competition where the fans were like one or the other, and the fans are more like, we just love wrestling as a whole, and that's how it should be. Everyone just loves wrestling as a whole, so we can love both companies. We can love both talent companies because we just love wrestling. We just love watching them here and them here, so I feel like that whole rivalry of having to choose one or the other is just not necessary all the time. I mean, not anymore. I don't know. I guess I'm not from the fans' perspective.
I totally understand. I love wrestling. I can watch wrestling every day of the week. It's not a problem to me. You said Tony Khan has brought you back numerous times. And I've always had this question because I see a lot of AEW stars wrestling in New Japan or doing independent shows like yourself. How does that work, wrestling with AEW and still being able to do an independent show?
So technically, I am an independent contractor. So I'm not signed or tied down to a company where I'm not allowed to go off to other companies or make money in my own ways, such as, people have Twitches and other accounts, fan accounts. So being an independent contractor, not being tied down, I can go travel and wrestle for whoever I want, whenever I want, until someone hands me paper and pen and I decide to sign that dotted line. So
now I'm fully aware and fully understand, because I didn't know how that worked, because I'm used to seeing wrestlers in major organizations just continue to wrestle within an organization. and hadn't seen that till AEW. But glad you clear the air to me.
Yep.
One of my main questions that I really wanted to ask you was, who are some of the wrestlers who inspired you to and do? Is there anyone that you emulate? Anybody you maybe have stolen? We know we all steal moves every now and then. Is there anybody that have tried to follow their career and say, oh, I could do that, or this is like me? Who anybody, and it doesn't matter if it's woman, man, independent, major organization or not.
Yes. Growing up as a kid, WCW fan all the way. But I also watched, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. I watched China, Medusa. But I loved, Sting was a big one for me. So getting to work with him at AEW and just being at the same company and working as a coworker with these guys, when I was growing up and I finally reached that point, it's like, wow, I'm getting to meet some of these people for the first time as a coworker, not as a fan. And Goldberg, Booker T. I mean, there's just so many of those guys in WCW that really inspired me. It's just that intensity, that drive, that character I'm talking about. That character just drew you in, it, individuality. And, it just got me hooked since I was a kid. So those are just a few to name.
You named quite a few, and you know your stuff, which is great. I don't know if it's more of a question of more of like more of a statement. I think that you coming up as a woman, in all women in wrestling, it's tough for you ladies still to this day, even in 2021. I feel it's still tough. You get less TV time. You got to show so much more of your character, so much more of your wrestling ability in such a short period of time. How do you deal? Well, I can answer this question. How do you deal with less time, especially on TV? Like in a house show or in an independent show, you got a little more time, but on television, you gotta get that. You want that moment where people say, "Oh wow," and you want them to notice you, because in TV ratings is everything. How do you get all your good stuff out there in a short period of time?
Well, it's not always about getting all of your stuff out there. You don't need to get all of your stuff in one match out there. You need to get this out there. This is the character. This is the moneymaker. That's the camera shots. Now, don't get me wrong. It's also your technique in the ring. You do a couple good things. Say you hit one or two, maybe three things in the match. It's your signature stuff that you might do. And then you show more character, more personality, more camera, more face. You try to interact with the crowd, with the people that paid to come see you, That's what it's really about. And the women have been getting so much more time than they ever used to. You look at Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks and all the women that came up from NXT that really have been changing the game, main eventing pay-per-views and everything, and really changing the game from when, maybe like all the other women that were around years ago, Victoria, Lita, Gail Kim, I watched them growing up and thought they were just amazing women, and they weren't given that much training time or TV time as we are now. So we are given time. Sometimes, lately with the Dark Elevations or others, you don't have that much time. So it's a quick, let's see how well trained you are to use those moments the best that you can. And it's about doing everything with purpose. Like, if I'm really trying to win a match, I'm going to do things with purpose. I'm going to try and take her down with something good that'll last for just as much time as I can have. So, it's I think ever since I joined wrestling, the biggest thing that's always been something in the back of my head is quality over quantity. Always. I didn't want to have my first wrestling match. They had to shove me out the door. I was like, I'm not ready. Because there were just so many experienced girls. I'm like, no. But yes, I didn't want 30 terrible YouTube videos out there. I wanted 3 good ones. So I've always been a person about quality over quantity. And then when I started getting my groove and wrestling more veteran girls, I started learning, all right, I'll get out there more. So I have been.
Now, you've named a bunch of wrestlers just now that you looked up to, and even those who came up through NXT, Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks. but I'm sure there are certain amount of wrestlers that you would like to face in the ring. Who are some of those wrestlers that you would like to face?
Oh wow, Charlotte, the queen versus the mechanic. Hey, that sounds
Yay,
good.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women in AEW as well. Dr. DMD, Britt Baker. The dentist versus the mechanic. I love that. You know, who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of great women out there I've looked up to for a long time. It's just to name a few. I mean, that was a couple right there, but Natalia, I mean,
yeah,
she's a great veteran. I'm happy to see her with the tag titles, half of the tag team champions.
yes.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of great women. I like to learn from more of the veteran women, more experience, because that's how I feel like I learn more too. But then helping the newer girls as well. It's just great. And, there's just so many combinations and possibilities. It's endless when it comes to wrestling. It really is.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
What about Sasha? Because your body type and her body type are very similar.
Oh, yes. I really relate a lot of my style to Sasha Banks with just our body types are very similar in size. I think I'm a little taller than her, though.
Yes, you're a little bit taller than her. I've met Sasha. Yes, you are. This Sunday, you have a big event. RCW has a wrestling event. You are taking on Camille Brickhouse, who is the NWA Women's Champion. Talk about this event and your matchup with Camille Brickhouse.
So RCW this Sunday in San Antonio, Texas. I am wrestling, yes, the NWA Women's Champion. And this is not the first time I've stepped in the ring with her, actually. It's been about 4 years probably. It's been a little while. I'm really looking forward to it. I know she's a big girl. She's got beautiful muscles and beautiful size. But I think I can, maybe outsmart her, outquick her with, some of my speed, technique. I'll do my best, but I'll just say it's an honor to get to have this wrestling match with her. And actually, I'm quite busy this weekend. The night before, here in Orlando for Division Pro at LeBron's Sportsplex, I'm wrestling and I'm defending my women's championship against Kaya Dream for Division Pro this Saturday night in Orlando. And then I go to Texas the very next day.
Wow. I wish you the best of luck. And
so I hope that I'm going to end up defending one championship to then have to wrestle the NWA Women's Champion the very next night. So I'm double booked pretty quick. Then I have to catch a flight Sunday morning to Texas. But I am going to give it my all. So
definitely.
How good does it feel to get back in front of the fans?
Oh, it's great. It's exciting. It's great. In that ring and you see them and they're, when I get in the ring, I look the fans in the eyes and I look at every side of the ring. I look at everyone in the front row. I look at their t-shirts, look at what they're wearing, what they're saying, what they're doing. I try to interact when I can. And it just feels like hanging out with friends while I'm beating some cute Japanese girl up in the middle of the ring at the same time.
Awesome.
Hey, that's what they did last time. American Muscle Mechanic versus the inaugural AEW Women's Champion Rio. And honestly, going to Japan has always been on the bucket list for me. So it looks like I'm getting part of that. Like I didn't get to go to Stardom or Japan, the pandemic, which was on my bucket list. But instead I'm getting to wrestle the Japanese girls here. So it's like, okay, I guess I can kind of check that off. I'm on my way.
I want to do a quick fantasy booking with you real quick. So if you had to book yourself in a tag team match, male or female, who would be your tag team partner?
Anybody.
Other than the Tantilizing one, of course.
Do they? Okay. I've gotten to learn, and I've had some mentors like Hector and Chavo Guerrero, and they have been great mentors. They are extremely wise. I would say Eddie. That'd be pretty cool. but let's probably go with a female. Tag partner. I'm gonna go with Lacey Evans.
Wow.
That's my girl right there.
Yes,
And why
indeed.
is that? Yeah, why is that?
We're actually from the same hometown. She lives in Beaufort, South Carolina, where I moved from. She was a Marine on Parris Island, where I was an EMT in Beaufort. But we didn't meet each other until we came to Orlando. I met her about almost a year after I started training. And I just respect her so much. She is such just a woman of like everything. Talent, grace, her family. She has great morals. She's just a great person, and she's badass and beautiful. And honestly, when she comes back, I'm going to be so ready and excited when she comes back. I'm so happy for her, and congratulations to her for her second child. Her family's doing good. But honestly, if she wasn't away, expanding her family, I think she would have been already Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion by now, 100%. But anyways, I would love for her to be my partner in tag match. I got my grease rag, or she's got a little, she's got her rags. I got my rags. We just do different things with them. Right. Or I got this as well. And if I got to break it out, I'll break it
out. Wow.
So
I don't want any problems.
The Marine and the Mechanic coming soon.
Nice. Hey. What a tag team that could be, yeah.
Hey, what do you know? So that's my pick.
Wow, that's awesome. I like that. Okay, JB.
So you have a lot of fans that looks up to you, want to be a wrestler just like you. What advice would you give to your fans?
Oh, yes. All my Nova heads out there. Listen up. Captain's here. Team captain right here. Nova's here, guys. My advice to all my Nova heads. Drive and determination. That's what it's all about. Nova drive, determination, and drive. That's what's gotten me this far. Have I cried myself to sleep at night? It's like, oh my God, this is not going to work out. My body hurts. I'm in so much pain. I'm broke. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive. Yeah, I've had struggles. Everyone in life does. But if you stick with it and you seriously work hard, that is what it's about. It is about drive and passion and determination. And honestly, without you guys, I would not have come as far as I have. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very, very much so. Very well deserved.
Thank you, guys. Nova World Order, baby. Yeah.
Oh, Nova there we go.
Order. You should get some shirts. You should get some shirts that says No World Order.
I had one made, but yeah, I have t-shirts on prowrestlingtees.com/AmberNova. You guys get geared up. All right.
Yes, definitely.
And,
definitely.
Yeah, maybe I'll work on that Nova World Order one.
Right. And your Instagram is AmberNova73, right?
Yes. And Twitter.
So everybody listening to this, check her out there. I'm looking at her Instagram right now, and I swear these are some awesome pictures, and I love your energy. I love the whole the card gimmick idea. I love it. I just think it's a great way to show both sides of your femininity as well. That women can be wrestlers and be card knowledgeable. It's awesome.
Thank you. It means a lot to me, growing up, daughter of a mechanic, and seeing my dad's hard work, and I'm just so proud of him. And he raised 5 kids. My mom worked at Blockbuster, which who even knows what Blockbuster is anymore? But
I do.
We still do.
How old are you, Blockbuster?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's it means a lot to me, and that's what I also find that I have a lot in common when it comes to Lacey Evans, that we both have those same ideals in life with little girls and motivating them and being what you want, whatever you want to be. And that's why I respect her so much, and that's why I said I'd pick her as a tag partner. But you know who else I find like that in common? Dr. Britt Baker. I do. I find that a lot. I find a lot of similarities like that in common with her as well.
Awesome.
Wow. Listen. I'm looking so forward to your next match. Hopefully we'll be able to check it out. What's after this weekend? What are your ultimate goals? Your ultimate goals in wrestling? What do you want to? What do you want to do?
Oh,
What do you want to?
I like how you just stole my question, my last question. I like how you just stole it, but go ahead, Tantalizing.
Listen, they call me Tantilizing for a reason. Okay. It's a duo question for my co-host JB. What are your ultimate goals?
Amber Nova's ultimate goals. Um, let's see. I like I said, I'm on a journey to break the stigma with women and cars. Ultimate goals. I'm gunning for an auto parts commercial, Advanced Auto Parts, Rock Auto, Eckler's, Castrol, whatever oil I use, some type of auto parts company to show, hey, it doesn't always have to be a guy in the commercial. It can be a hot babe like me who kicks ass in the ring. Talking sponsorships. And here's the thing, does pro wrestling not have commercials? Sponsorships?
Right.
Cars and wrestling. So that's an ultimate goal for me, achievements that, I have out there, other ambitions. But obviously it is to also sign with a TV company and really settle down. But I'm happy traveling, going to all these other states, like I was doing before the pandemic, other countries. I'm happy exploring the world and exploring everything, getting my name out there and building my brand before that time comes. I would like to see that these TV companies do give me more time to show them what Amber Nova is really all about. Like, I'm not that new in the business, and I got a little of experience behind me, and I'm ready to really shift gears in that ring and show them what I'm all about. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the near coming future.
Tantalizing. I have to talk to Luke Hawks. Luke Hawks is the only. Do you know Luke Hawks? No, never heard of him.
Not know him, not personally.
Gotcha. He has a wrestling company here in New Orleans called Wildcat Wrestling, and we are friends.
I'm familiar with it. I think I've reached out before. It might have been a while though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna reach out to him too. I kind of know him personally.
You do that. Tell them
yes.
They need a tune-up.
Definitely, I will definitely tell them that. Yes, get Amber Nova out here to New Orleans. Definitely.
Wildcat Wrestling needs a complete overhaul.
Good. All right, I'm gonna make sure I follow them online, which I believe I do. And like I said, I know of the company though.
Definitely, awesome. Tantalizing, do you have any more questions?
I just want to thank Amber for coming on. I mean,
we want to thank Amber.
Listen, don't steal my heat right now, okay? Listen.
Stealing his thunder, man.
Yeah.
You can tell who the heel is, right? I really appreciate you coming on because, listen, I know your time is precious, and I know you're getting ready for this match this week, both these matches this weekend. I know that it's not easy getting on and talking about yourself because it's what you do, and you're such a class act. And thank you so much for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the support, and man, you guys made me feel great. And I mean, my neck's a little sore today. I'm a little tired from flying back, but I feel really great. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And hopefully I will definitely meet you again. Hopefully in the next WrestleCon or whatever the next event is. I will be meeting you again because once I meet a wrestler, I meet them again and have them sign the picture that we took. So that picture I've been posting, that's next in line. Yes, definitely.
Great, excellent.
Definitely. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I had fun. I hope you had fun as well.
I did. I even brought out the big wrench.
Yeah, you did.
I'm scared of her.
Well, you should be.
Yes.
Time for a tune-up.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you, Miss Amber Nova. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nova. Thank you so much.
Tag me and everything, and I will reshare everything.
We will do that. Definitely.
We both have YouTube channels. We're definitely going to tag you in those. I'm already your follow on Instagram. I'm already following you on Twitter. So, we're following you. Okay.
Cool.
Definitely. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you guys.
Good luck to you.
Last night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Amber Nova, man, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I got to tell you, bro, I did such a great job with my questions. I was so good as an interviewer. You know, as a broadcast journalist, you're doing okay, JB. You know, you're doing okay. But me, boy, was I on point today. Wow. Let me tell you something, buddy. Ooh, I need a drink.
He must have went through my phone some type of way and saw my questions because he took 2 of them. But that's all right, though. I'm not mad at you. That's all right, though.
That goes to show you that we're that prepared, and the questions we asked were the right ones. So
That's right. That's right. Before we end this show, let's talk about 2 things right quick. First thing, what was the more shocking surprise, or not shocking, the more exciting surprise? Jay White showing up on Impact in front of Kenny, or John Cena showing up at Money in the Bank confronting Roman?
Listen, there's no comparison, bro. The franchise came back to go against the tribal chief, the big dog, the head of the table. Bro, what else can you say?
Oh, man. You know, I was expecting Cena to come back on that following SmackDown. I was not expecting Money in the Bank. But Jay White appearing, I marked. But there was no type of interaction in the ring. It was nothing at all. So that didn't excite me. Like, okay, somebody do something. Nothing. Cena was, man, he was jumping and running and high-fiving cameramen, took out a Never Give Up rag and went in Roman's face and did all this. There was some type of interaction. That, to me, was more exciting and made it better to me.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trying to put star power into it because I know they want to make Kenny the star that Roman is, but that is, as of now, that's not happening. Somebody asked, how long is Cena back? I think Cena is back up until SummerSlam. I don't think no longer than that. I think just till SummerSlam because he has movies and other tapings that he has to go do.
Suicide Squad is coming out, so he's promoting Suicide Squad, so he'll be on the road for that a lot. But I don't care if it's for 2 weeks, whatever the case is. The guy's back. Whether he loses or wins at SummerSlam, we'll see. But it's good. It's good to have Cena back. And if you notice, the pop he got was incredible. And there was no John Cena sucks. You didn't hear any of that. It was just cheering. So that's great.
He deserves it. I understand.
Of course.
Yeah, I understand years ago people were getting sick of him and all that, whatever. I've always liked him. He ain't the most technical wrestler.
Don't have to be.
And all that good stuff. But you're right. Exactly. Number 2, it is being reported that. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. I hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. It's been reported that Daniel Bryan has signed with AEW. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm doing a actual video on it as we speak. I'm actually editing my video about AEW and Daniel Bryan. I think it's a done deal. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, the game has changed. The AEW versus WWE game has now changed because people say, oh, well, they got Cody and they got Big Show and they got Mark Henry, they got Christian. You are grabbing somebody that had an entire revolution going on in WWE, the Yes Movement, which is one of the most popular things since the NWO came on the scene.
Yeah.
If it's true, don't be surprised if CM Punk's not far behind.
That was my next question I was going to get into before we talk about CM Punk. I didn't expect Daniel Bryan to go AEW, but there he is. And this is a game changer, a big time, because he is one of the most over wrestlers in the world. And I can't sit here and say if he's going to steal viewers just because of him. But AEW is on a Wednesday night and they don't have no competition. But you best believe I think their ratings are about to go up some with Daniel Bryan. And going on to our last topic of the night, there's talks about CM Punk. Where's he going to go? AEW or WWE? I'll start with you again. What are your thoughts?
Depending on what kind of deal Daniel Bryan gets, see, here's the dilemma. Tony Khan is not cheap.
That's correct.
And his pockets are deep. Now, as much as people think McMahon's pockets are deep, which they are, they're a publicly traded company, and he's got board of directors, and he's got other people that he has to check with before he can just sign anybody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, I don't know if CM Punk has left a bad taste in WWE's mouth when it came to how he left. And you got to realize, man, it's been 7 years since CM Punk's been gone.
That's right.
Excuse me, check that. 8 years. WrestleMania, he didn't show at WrestleMania 30. So
yeah, going on 8 years. You're right.
Going on 8 years. So it's been a while. But that being said, I think the most money and you got to realize CM Punk is in his 40s. He's going to go where the most money is and where he can get the most exposure. And regardless when anybody says he wants a title, and I don't think the AEW title would be in CM Punk's future. I think there's a better chance of beating somebody like a Roman at Edge, a Bobby Lashley, a Big E, something like that. So I think that he will re-sign with WWE.
I have a feeling it's AEW. And I'm not able to explain that feeling, but it's just a strong feeling that CM Punk is going to AEW. Just been so long since he's been in the WWE, and you know, he's burned some bridges. I don't think he's well liked by Triple H, so I just don't see it. I know he was back on the what's called the WWE backstage show with Renee and Booker T. He was there for a little while, but I just don't see it. I really see CM Punk going to AEW. We got a question. What about Rampage on Friday nights? I'm gonna start it off and let you go after that. I think Rampage it's a 1 hour show. It's a 1 hour show, and I'm thinking Rampage is gonna showcase its bigger stars only for 1 hour. So like Kenny and so and so. Because AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation is mainly for their younger talent, fresh new talent. So I think you're going to see Kenny and the bigger stars on this show. And I think it's also a show to get the SmackDown audience, because this show will come on right after SmackDown. So they can get the SmackDown audience to switch over and bring their AEW Dynamite audience also. I think they're trying to see something or make something work with this show. That's what I feel about it. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's to take off that 10 o'clock, take that little SmackDown tail off and pick up some of their viewership. Listen, man, what else can I say except we're winners right now, because we got so much wrestling on TV that we got AEW, you got NXT, we got WWE, we got New Japan, we got MLW, we got GCW, we got so many stuff on television, on different platforms, on Vice TV, on YouTube. Man, the fans are winning right now, man.
Totally agree. One more topic just popped in my mind, and we'll end it on this. What are your thoughts about Goldberg challenging Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship?
Okay, so here's how my initial feelings were like, why? But then I want to give Demario North from Mania Club a shout out. He made a good point. Why have Brock and Lashley at SummerSlam when we get them at WrestleMania? What a better way for Bobby Lashley to show how dominant he is by beating Goldberg. I think it's a good move. As washed up as I think Goldberg is, believe it or not, he's got star power. Believe it or not, people still want to see him. And what better way to elevate Bobby Lashley's dominance by beating another legend. You know, you saw what he did to Kofi Kingston at
Yeah.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch. To me, it was worse than the squash job that Brock Lesnar put on Kofi because this was pure dominance.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you, but go ahead and continue.
To me, it was hard for me to watch Kofi get his ass kicked like that. But the thing about it was that it was so great for Bobby Lashley. And that's why I think Lashley versus Goldberg is the right move right now.
Going back to the Kofi versus Lashley, I didn't mind Kofi getting beat down by Bobby like that due to the promo Bobby had on Raw, getting back to business, the Hurt Business, and that wasn't an 8-second match, so I was fine with that. Didn't like the fact that Kofi against Brock was an 8-second match. Kofi was the champion. He was treated like a nobody, and when AJ, Daniel Bryan, and Finn Balor and CM Punk can have a long match with Brock, but Kofi couldn't. That's what I didn't like about it. So I agree with you at. I didn't have a problem with that. Demario North, shout out to Demario North. I see what he's talking about, and I totally understand it. Where I differentiate with him at is we've been waiting for Bobby and Brock for years. And I don't know how much longer we can wait until WrestleMania. I thought with the fans coming back at SummerSlam to a full capacity, this would be the ultimate time to it. It's not happening. All we can do as fans is keep hoping that this match happens, because I think on every wrestling fan's mind, this is the match that everyone wants to see, right next to Rock versus Roman.
I definitely agree, but this is the thing. What better way to put on both main events than at WrestleMania?
I can see that, and I can agree with that.
Roman Rock, Lashley Lesnar. Like, whew, Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. We just got to hope they both hold on to the belts. You know,
I think I don't want to give away my predictions, but yeah, I think it's a safe bet.
Think safe bet? I got a feeling Big E cashes in before the end of the year.
No, you know what? Let me tell you. You know, I'm tipping my hand, but I want to tell you this. I think Big E cashes in at WrestleMania after Roman beats The Rock. Bro, could you imagine?
That place will blow up.
Could you imagine Roman beats The Rock cleanly, and then The Rock just snaps, rock bottoms Roman Reigns, and then you hear Big E's music and he cashes in. Oh my God.
Man, that would be awesome. I was thinking Survivor Series, we'll get Roman versus Bobby, and then Big E would cash in on Bobby, because I think Bobby would lose to Roman.
I disagree with the whole cashing in at Survivor Series. I think you have to keep that Money in the Bank case, especially now since Nikki cashed in. You got to keep a case on Biggie for a while. I think that you repeat the heist of the century from WrestleMania 31, where Seth Rollins cashed in, and you cash in on two big names. That really solidifies Biggie as top tier. Come on, or imagine this. Let's change the scenario. What if The Rock beats Roman, and he cashes in on Rocky? I mean, what?
Bro.
I mean, that's even huge. And The Rock's the kind of giving guy to do it. So, I mean, what better way to put him over? Yeah, right. Biggie's very respected backstage. Him and Roman are friends. They've been friends since Florida Championship Wrestling. They come up together. They are great friends. You know, and The Rock, of course, he knows who Biggie is. Can you imagine? Come on, man. Shush.
Take my money now.
Please. I'm already saving. Yes.
Yes, indeed. You're still on SummerSlam, right?
Listen, bro. Shout out to B. Shout out to B Cannon because me and B Cannon stayed in the same hotel. We stay in the same room. We got together. We're gonna be together. So
Cool.
B Cannon definitely will be there. Um, Personal business for myself.
Yes, sir.
Two things. Two things. First of all, everybody forgive my 3 week absence. You know, me and Jared took a little break, and last week I was in New York doing it up at Yankee Stadium with my daughter. So by the way, Jared, great show, great
Thank you.
interview. I didn't get a chance to tell you. Forgive me. I've been very into myself lately, as you can see. Um, Weight loss. So if I tell you guys where I'm at right now, your mind's gonna be blown. So as you well know, on May 21st, I was 340. Weigh in today, 265.
Woo! Man, that is awesome, my
265.
brother. Yes, indeed.
I'm way ahead of where I should be. Hey, shout out to Dudes at Ringside Podcast.
Shout out to them. There you go.
Speaking of them, last week.
Yeah, you got to meet them. Tell us, yes.
That's right, man. Last week at the NY WC show, somewhere I grew up. If you don't know my backstory, I wrestled a lot of those guys. A lot of my fellow wrestlers helped train Zack Ryder. Shout out to Shane O'Neill, who was in charge of NYWC. I'll be doing some stuff with them. I'll be at the next show, August 14th. That's prior to our SummerSlam trip. So yeah, I got to meet Dudes at Ringside. I got to meet Metal Geek and Joe up close and personal. It was a great time meeting them.
Good.
You guys know I was with the MLW show back 2 weeks ago. I was at Ring of Honor, and tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday night, I will be in Atlantic City, New Jersey at the Showboat for GCW Game Changer Wrestling. It's going to be a great show. We got some great main events coming up. Matt Cardona is on the card going for the title. So check out my YouTube channel, Tantilizing Tony. I'm at 495 subscribers. I'm 5 away from 500, which means I'm halfway to 1,000. So listen, when you're watching this now or weeks later, if all 5 of my subscribers tell one person to subscribe, I got 1,000. Get on your shit, people. Help me out.
Help us out. He and me. Yes, both of us.
Listen, we all know when I say me, it's we. JB's link is always in my videos. So,
Yes.
you know, JB, I think we might have to go over to Mania Club and start doing the show because I don't know if MVS appreciates us, bro. I mean, there's a few people that we got some. I'm just saying, I know you're admin, but I'm just being honest. We got few great fans that stick with us, but Mania Club's got a lot of people, and they definitely got a lot of viewership over there. I'm just saying.
Hey, Mania Club got to give us permission. I would love it. I would love to put our stuff in Mania Club, but you know how they are. If BJ and
they're tough over here. If BJ's watching, or Norris or Ethan, or Gary,
yes,
what's over the top rope? Let's do a show. Our shit's good, as you can see.
Yep.
Jared's coming along. He's doing. He's almost at my level. So that's like, what's the problem?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I would love it. So, with that being said, once again, let's thank Amber Nova for joining us. It was a pleasure.
She was great. She really was good.
Yes, definitely, without a doubt, man. Great personality, great sense of humor. I loved it. I loved it.
Was ready with every question. Was ready with every question.
Yes, definitely. And next time the show needs a tune-up, we will holler at Amber again.
She better keep that rich at home.
Over the top and the dudes at Mania. Hey, yeah. Yes, sir.
I like that.
I'm with it, dudes at ringside. Definitely.
You know what, JB? I want to take you. I think this is the other thing. You said any last words? Yeah, I got something to say. We need to start going on Twitch.
I got a Twitch. I do.
I think we should start going on Twitch to start getting our viewership up. I think Twitch might be the way to go. Not just make more than one platform. I think Twitch might be the way to go.
Yeah. Okay. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Definitely. I'm with that. Dudes at ringside says super podcast.
Whatever. I'm in.
We are in. Definitely. So, next week we will not have a show. I will be in Phoenix for the American Taekwondo Association World Championships that whole week. So I'll be up there. I got 5 students competing for world champion. So hopefully it will bring it back home.
5-time champion.
Not me.
But you have 5 champions. You have 5 champions.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
but they're competing in more than one. So we can bring back more than 5.
10 time, 20 time, 30 time.
yes. Yes, definitely. So no show next week, but the following week we will be back. We'll be back up and running, getting you ready for SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam, baby!
Oh, yes, indeed. I can't wait. For my brother from another, what's up, fellas? I'm home, baby. Great show.
Sean.
VK, what it do?
VK.
Yes, indeed, VK. Thank you, sir. VK, I know you have something to say. Can you type it up right quick? I know you have something to say.
It's always good to hear from VK. Always good to hear from the man.
VK wanted to actually say something right quick. I'm gonna see if I could send him the link right quick and he can come on. I'll give him a couple minutes before we go because he wanted to say something that he got going on.
I'm in no rush. It's always good to hear from VK. Hell yeah.
Definitely.
In the meantime, while you're sending that to VK, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead,
so
sir.
Right now we know we have 2 double main events at SummerSlam. We have Roman Reigns versus the franchise John Cena, and we have Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
What other matches would you book right now? What would you book for SummerSlam?
All right, this is what I would book. I'm about to tell you all of them right now. I would book Sasha and Bianca 2.
Of course, sir.
I would do that. Sasha and Bianca 2. I would book the Usos against the Mysterios again. I would book that. I would book Edge versus Seth. Book that.
That's easy. Mm-hmm.
I booked Drew versus Jinder.
That's
pretty easy. The Raw women.
Let me ask you a question. Who do you put Big E in against?
Who do I put Big E against?
And do you put the money? And you put the money in bank contract on the line?
If Big E was to put the money in the bank contract on the line, I say it would have to be against either KO or Apollo again. One of the two.
I like the KO versus Big E match. I like that.
Yeah. I think you're going to get Finn versus Sammy.
So good to see Finn back.
On the main roster. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. And what else? All Women's Championship. I think it's going to be a triple threat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think Nikki's going to beat both of them.
I don't agree with Nikki being champion, by the way.
I don't agree with it, but we always talked about giving fresh faces a chance. So I was fine with everything that happened. I was fine with it.
I don't got a problem with her. I got a problem with the gimmick.
The superhero gimmick.
Yeah, it throws me off. It's not like it's the Hurricane. It throws me off.
I'm gonna say this though. Compared to her old outfit she wears and this one, man, Nikki got a nice little body, man.
Well, she lost some weight too. So she lost some weight. She dropped some pounds. Let me ask you something else since we're still waiting for VK. 2 other things. 2 women who, to me, what about Liv Morgan getting a big push but losing? What do you think about? What do you feel about that?
I didn't have a problem with it. To be honest with you, I didn't have her winning, so I guess that's why. I guess that's why I'm okay with it. I didn't have Liv winning, and so I guess that's why. But I guess I'd rather see Liv continue this push but I just didn't have her winning the Money in the Bank, so there wasn't a problem with me. Nikki was a surprise.
Big surprise.
I really thought Alexa.
That was my pick, Alexa, to win the whole thing, to win it.
Yeah, I thought Alexa would win, but that didn't happen, and she got buried under the ladder.
Right. And my other question to you is, what's your take on Mandy Rose going to NXT?
You know, I guess she's not really wrestling much. I guess they can use her as a valet or a manager now. And you know, I like the tag team of her and Dana. I like seeing Mandy in the ring. Mandy was a wrestler who was improving.
Doing great, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I wanted Mandy to get her shot at some type of title, but I guess they had other plans. And I think I said this, bringing down Mandy. They brought up Finney, bringing down Mandy to NXT. I think they're trying to get maybe more star power, maybe, but I don't really know. But it is what it is.
Hey, more important question. What about Karrion Kross losing to Jeff Hardy in 3 minutes?
Woo, bruh. I think they went about that the wrong way. I got word that he had some heat over the promo with he and Adam Cole, and he was upset with what Adam Cole, with what Adam Cole said. Now, I mean, I heard what Adam Cole said, and maybe I would take offense to what he said about the company and you ain't nothing without your girl and your gimmick. Maybe I would take offense to that too. When you bring in Karrion Kross on the main roster for his debut, no, you don't have the man lose at all. I'm sorry. And as much as I want to see Jeff Hardy get another WWE title reign, that was not the time to do that at all. Not at all. And I think eventually he's about to get called up and he's about to lose the NXT title soon. But that, to me, that was the wrong time to have that happen. In 2 minutes, and for Jeff Hardy to cheat and put his foot on the ropes to win, I was hella shocked.
Yeah, it was so out of character. Just the whole thing was out of character. To see Karrion Kross, who they have built as a beast, who has beaten everybody.
Yes.
He's crushed, he beat Keith Lee.
Yes.
And you job him out in 3 minutes? To me, listen, Raw and SmackDown are like two different companies right now. It's like, with the exception of Bobby Lashley, there is nothing on Raw that I can even get behind. It's like I am just so like just this. I'm not even invested in this in Raw. It's just, they bring back Keith Lee after 7 months. We don't see Keith Lee, and don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with him losing to Lashley, but it was like he was an afterthought. It's like, bro.
Right. I would have rather Karrion Kross take on Keith Lee that night. I'd have rather that.
Beat Keith Lee, or even maybe Keith Lee pull upset. Either way, if you're gonna job him out, if you're gonna job out Karrion Kross, no disrespect to Jeff Hardy, not like that.
No, not like that. Now, I am glad Jeff Hardy brought back the No Words theme song.
Yeah. I
love that song. But that was the wrong time to do that, man. That man so powerful in NXT, unstoppable, and you make the man lose like that. And then
it takes away. It takes away from Samoa Joe versus Karrion. It takes away.
Big time. And I'm about to bring in our good friend, Mr. VK Jones. VK Jones, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, VK.
What up? What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
I had to look for that link all over the freaking place, and I finally found it. So it took me a little bit, but I got it. But y'all guys are doing great, man. Y'all doing great. I know Tony had to get your shine on tonight, versa. Hey, it is what it is, bro. Jared should be used to that, but Jared be taking my shine a lot, though.
Listen, bro. Let's keep this shit 100. This is a collaboration between JB and myself, but we all know who the real star of this fucking show is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you the man, Tony. First of all, congratulations on your weight loss, bro. I gotta
VK,
get back. I gotta get
appreciate
back
it.
to my routine, my damn self. I got work to do. So I'm getting the routine together, especially with my new gig. I wanted to announce that
Okay.
I had to make a tough decision with my family and them to take a job because it was really kind of rough for me. I didn't find anything in North Carolina. I put a lot of things on hold and stuff like that. But I decided to take a position in Laplace, Louisiana. I'll be working as a videographer coordinator over at XP Synergy Company. And I'll be working with them behind the scenes and also doing projects. And also I'll be teaching at St. James High School. And also there are going to be some things going on with the St. James football broadcast. I'll give you more details soon on that potential opportunity on that one. And also I'll be doing some boxing soon. I'll be doing a boxing event with Johnny Marquise in Laurel, Mississippi in August. So I'll be doing that. Hopefully things go well. They have another one in September. Hopefully things go well. They asked us to come out again and do the thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful that I'm home. And also, me and Jared is gonna be back on the podcast scene. We kind of talked about it. We're gonna get into a meeting and discuss more about it. The name of the podcast, and it's been in my head, but it's about to come to fruition in September, live from the underground. It's gonna be live from the underground, and we're gonna be hopefully on twice a week. We'll be live one day, and we'll record another for the end of the week. We feel like, and Jared understands what I was talking about. We want to take our podcast to another level. And I love the VK Jones show. It's been great to me and whatever, but it's time to bury it where it lays. And it's time to take things to a whole nother level. The VK Jones show will always be a staple to me for a long, long time. But now it's time to up the ante after what I've seen last year, observing COVID and seeing all this creativity in media, that I was like, man, we have to really turn things up this time. And we're gonna have all kind of athletes. It's basically uh sports, entertainment, and life. So we're gonna have athletes, coaches, we're gonna have journalists, and also we're gonna have people that's unknown, underground. Like we'll try to have, like, I want to definitely have an episode of the state of wrestling. I definitely want to have Tony on there, Luke Hawks, Justin Coke LeGrand to talk about the state of wrestling in that podcast. And there's some other ideas that's flying off my head. Me and Jared talked about it, but live from the underground coming up in September. We'll let you know the date. I'm looking forward to getting things going. This COVID drove me crazy last year, man, but I'm excited, and I know this pandemic's not over yet, but I'm praying that we go forward, we continue to go forward, and things get better. So it's a privilege to be back home in my state, but pray for my family, pray for my wife and my child that they had to stay back. It's medical reasons, but hopefully by next year, she'll be back home inside Louisiana.
Definitely, my brother. Definitely.
Definitely, VK. Definitely. Hey, VK, let me tell you something, bro. I admire you very much, man, because you're an inspiration to me. I'm not just saying that because we're on live right now. It's tough when you got family. You gotta make a tough decision. I know it must be hard for you. So props to you, man, for making a decision that's best for your family to try to further your career and make sure that they're okay, man. So I respect you very much for that, man. And as for your weight thing, man, bro, listen, it's a mental thing. We all have trials and tribulations. COVID was hard for everybody, man. I know how hard it was for you. I know you know how hard it was for me, man. I got to give Jared props. Jared always seems like he's all together. He faces things real well. But VK, keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive, man. I'm proud of you, brother.
And also I appreciate it. And also big shout out to my company that I'm be working for, XP Synergy. There's so much of a family oriented company that they're not just looking out for me, they're looking out for my mental health too. So there's gonna be some programs I'm gonna be in as well. Because this thing really got me like not just physically but mentally too. You know, went through a good bit of trauma. I'm a component of not just the fight against MS, but but with mental health as well. You know, people really need love, and people really need the help to heal, even when they go through. So if you out there and you going through something that's really traumatic to you, and you have moments, don't be ashamed to go get help. Man. Go get help. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But Tony, I appreciate it. And man, I'm freaking excited, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say one wrestling point, and I'm gonna let you say whatever else. You know, I like what y'all talked about with Big E. You know what I'm saying? I think I was jumping the gun soon with the predictions, because I really think that I thought they was gonna want to get a big pop early with the crowds and everything. So I was thinking he could cash in there, but he didn't. So I agree with you, Tony, that they're gonna keep it on Big E for a while. I kind of agree with Jared. Might be Survivor Series that he'll cash in and win the title. I agree with Jared on that one. But for the women's one, I'm like, congratulations to Nikki Ash or whatever she called herself. But to me, I did not like how the women's Money in the Bank ended. I did not like that at all. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a better ending than that was. I'm not knocking Nikki Ash for winning, but they could have did a better job for her to get it. It's almost like they let her win it. They let her get it. So
you gotta look at it like this. This is how I saw it. I thought it played into her character, superhero. Fighting, and then she just pop up out of nowhere like a superhero. That's how I saw it.
But to me, it was very dated. To me, it was very, you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, she's not Molly Holly. I'm sorry.
Right.
You know, we seen this gimmick before. I don't think. I guess it's for this next generation. I guess, but we seen this gimmick before. So
yeah, and that's what I mean. I think to me it's outdated. You know, Hurricane was a great gimmick thing, you know, but you can never see him winning Money in the Bank. For her to win Money in the Bank as Nikki Ash, to me, diminishes who she is. Because when she was with Sanity, she was amazing. You know,
I agree.
And I don't like that they're taking that edge away from her. Even when she was Alexa Bliss's best friend, she still was a badass. You know what I mean? So to me, the Nikki Ash character just doesn't do it for me. I'm happy for her personally.
Yeah,
but the character,
it's a title that was long awaited for her.
She deserves it. She deserves the title.
There's no doubt. It's just the fact, like the way the Money in the Bank, and it could have. I like somebody to kind of earn it, but at the same time, I want something thrilling to happen. Like if she would have jumped off somewhere, got on top, and then it would have been like, okay, I can deal with that. But like everybody fighting, also here comes the girl.
Grabs it. Yeah. The way Big E won it is the way you win the Money in the Bank. Like that big ending ladder. Oh my God. That
was
goes down
one of the best Money in the Bank matches we've seen in a long time.
It was a good finish.
Really good. I thought the way it was looking, and I thought that Drew McIntyre had it. I thought he had it the way it would look. I'm happy for Big E getting it. It was just a fact. It was a very fit ending, and I tell you, man, like the way Drew, he was going off, man. I thought he was gonna get it, but
if you look at my prediction show on my YouTube channel, Tantilizing Tony, I picked Big E to win Money in the Bank. I also picked Alexa Bliss, which I was wrong about, but the one I wanted was Big E. I wanted Big E.
I picked Big E too.
I picked Big E too.
We all did.
I've been keeping up. I've been keeping up with the Due Day podcast that come on Mondays. And it's a new thing to me. I listen to the podcast Monday. They're so funny, get your mind off a lot of stuff. But when I've been watching it and I've been listening to it and stuff, and I was like looking at the opportunity and the way they're talking, I'm like, this is setting up for Big E to get in Money in the Bank, but not just that, win it. Because I kept hearing it from the podcast and from y'all. So right then and there, I'm like, that'd be perfect. I'm like, Big E can win it, and he will win it, and he did. But we'll see what happens. I think that Money in the Bank was pretty interesting. Even the Edge Roman match was interesting. I was hoping Edge win, but it ain't a surprise what happened. So the way they did it was perfect because Edge still looks strong.
Definitely still looks strong.
He do.
He's gonna get the title eventually.
Eventually he will.
It gotta happen. It has to happen.
I'm like this. He had the chance to get it in Mania. I think, I'll be honest, maybe if it's not SummerSlam, it'll be Royal Rumble.
No, I don't see Roman losing the title anytime. I don't think Edge gets the title till sometime next year SummerSlam.
Sometime, yeah, definitely another year from now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think that Edge is happy not having the title. I think that the climb and the just the fight to go. Now he's got to deal with Seth Rollins for a few months. That's going to be a great feud right there, and that's going to propel Survivor Series. So I think you got him in a perfect position, to have a Edge team versus a Seth Rollins team in Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's going to be a great setup. I think it's going to go away from the Raw versus SmackDown thing a little bit. So that'll make Survivor Series better and everything.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, man, but I appreciate y'all letting me come on and
Definitely, bro.
And everything.
Definitely.
I don't know if you had any more questions for me, but I just wanted to come on and make the big time announcement. I know I'm gonna put a post up soon on Facebook, but I just wanted to announce it right there. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up soon. Just we need to take a nice picture. Might be about a week or two or whatever, before I just make everything just official right there. So
definitely, bro.
I wanted to come on there, let y'all MVS guys and y'all guys know that VK is back home, Crescent City. Glad to be back home, loving it. Got my snowball. Boy, it's great to be back home.
Boy, you went right there to Bucks.
Huh?
You went right there to Bucks. Get that snowball.
No. I went
Where
to
you went?
I went to A-Bears.
Oh, okay.
A-Bears a little more cheaper, and they do good on the juice, bro.
Okay.
Bucks a little overrated, bro. Bucks a little overrated.
I'm gonna disagree with that one.
A-Bears, bro. You have to try A-Bears.
I'll try it. I had a problem trying other stuff.
Because you gonna pay a little less, and you go get a lot more juice and whatever. Try when it's kind of stuffed with ice cream. I'm telling you, they do good over there. Most Especially definitely. if you see a lady over there, blonde hair. Oh, she got you, bro.
She got you. All right.
Oh yes,
definitely.
But yeah, but it's good to be back.
Definitely, bro. But thank you for joining us on the show, bro. And I will be talking to you soon, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
No problem. Wish you luck in Phoenix. Too bad that thing is not in Arkansas.
Yeah. I wish it still wasn't Little Rock. Me too. All right, my man. Yeah. I'll get with you.
All right, guys.
All right, VK.
All right.
Appreciate it.
AJB.
Yes, sir.
I got one more order of business.
What you got, Chief? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's been too long. It's been too long. Yes. Oh, there he is. What's up, Mikey?
Say what's up, Mr. JB.
How you doing?
Talk.
Hi.
Say what's up, Mr. JB.
What's up?
Michael, talk.
Hi.
How you doing, Mikey? You doing okay?
Yep.
Good deal. Good.
He's low key right now. His cousins are upstairs and he's up there playing with them. So
playing with them. Awesome. Well, it's been a great show. Once again,
great. One of the greatest shows ever.
Yes. Thank you.
I think this might be our best show ever, bro.
It might be. Thank you to Amber Nova. Thank you to VK Jones.
Yes, VK.
Like I said, no show next week, but after that, we're coming right back strong. Thank you, my brother. Having fun.
It was your pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll be talking with you into the wrestling world. Until next time, peace.
Stay tantalizing.